Welcome back to another speed build on the channel. Today we are going to be renovating a pre-built apartment. This is the first apartment speed build on the channel. I couldn't add, change or move any walls, doors or windows in the apartment. So this was a realistic renovation, kind of like if you were doing your own apartment in an apartment block. You wouldn't be able to knock down certain walls because of structure. The windows would be difficult to change, so I just kept all the structure fittings all in place, including those wooden beams there that you can just add and take away for decoration, but they were already there, so I kept them installed. So this apartment is in San Myshuno, of course. It is in the Medina Studio apartments. It is number 930 Medina Studios. It's a 3-bed, 2-bathroom build. The weekly rent is 1,200 simoleons. The deposit is 1,000 simoleons, and the furnishings come in at 75,875 simoleons. So the lot traits are gnomes and penny pixies. I'm not sure if I picked those or if they were already set in place. I don't actually remember. This apartment sleeps up to 6 Sims. We have 1 twin room and 2 double rooms, one of which you can see me doing just now. So throughout the apartment, I wanted to keep it quite bright and light and airy. It's not the smallest apartment we have to offer, but it's not the biggest either. So I wanted to make use of the space, make it feel as open and as bright as possible. So this is the first bedroom of the build. When I was doing this, I had in mind perhaps a teenager or a young adult, specifically a female, but it's not strictly gender female in any way. I'm not even sure if that makes sense. It's most likely to be a single sim that lives in this bedroom, and that's purely because that bit off to the right hand side there, because there was no third part of a wall to put in a door, or there wasn't a door, therefore I couldn't change it. So instead we have just a divider with a mirror on it that kind of covers that section, so that if somebody were to go into her room or their room and they were in the bathroom, it would still be a little bit more private. So that's why I was thinking that this isn't for a couple or a shared bedroom, just because of the privacy aspect of the bathroom. The primary colours of this room and bathroom are pink and blue, very bright colours. So it is, while I was thinking of it for a young female sim, it is very gender neutral, and it could be a guy sim, a girl sim, anything that you think is appropriate for the sim that you make or the sim that you download from the gallery. If you do want to download this apartment from the gallery, it is up there. It is under the username ScrewballScots, and it's just called 390 Medina Studios. When I first came into this apartment, that little ensuite there was set up as a kind of walk-in wardrobe with some shelves on it. You'll probably have seen it if you have used the apartment in your own games. But I wanted to utilise it better because I didn't think having those shelves in there would be the best use of the space, because it is just a smaller apartment, so that's why I put the bathroom in there. So we've just moved on to the twin bedroom. I had in mind children for this bedroom, but again, it is very versatile. We can have 2 children, 2 teenagers, 1 of each, or even by the end of it you'll see all the bright colours. It would suit even 1 or 2 toddlers as well. So I've included a wardrobe, some play things and a desk for them to do homework at, or you can even add a computer in. I never included a computer just because I did have children in mind, and depending on the specific sim, I don't always want them to have a computer in their room, and I would rather use the computer in a more communal space, especially when we are so limited to the space in this apartment. We can't extend it out any or anything like that. I'm just adding some details to the walls and things like that here with some shelves and things on the shelf, and you'll see some really bright colours come into play in this room. The only downside to this bedroom being where it is that it's the only room that isn't right next to a bathroom. So the previous bedroom we just saw, that of course has an ensuite, but this bedroom here doesn't. And the bathroom for the entire apartment, including the master bedroom, is at the other side of the apartment. So the only downside is that they would need to walk all the way across the apartment to get to the bathroom, but it isn't big, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. It shouldn't take any length of time. So we've got a nice bright wall here, some little sailing boats. This isn't a wallpaper I commonly use, but I really liked it because I think it just because it was a 3-tile wide wall. It was small, so it just brightened it up a little bit more. Then we have the bright yellow opposite it to just contrast and really make the room stand out. This was my first apartment build once I got city living, so all the items were new to me and the idea of apartments was brand new. I've never played with apartments before and I was really excited to get stuck in, so that's why I started with a renovation build just to get a little feel for it before I start creating my own apartments, which you will see very shortly. I've got a video coming up where I build an apartment from scratch in the penthouse. Yeah, so just there I added in some pipe work just to make it feel a little bit more realistic. Here I was thinking maybe add a curtain in for some separation in the room, but because of the size of the room and the layout, I didn't really need it because the kids' beds aren't exactly beside each other anyway, so it should be okay. Now I'm just looking for a nice colourful rug to put in there. I really like the rugs from City Living. They're really nice and bright and I love the patterns on them. And here you can see I'm just flipping the room about. The beds do stay the same where it's top to toe and they're quite far apart, but I just thought this was a nicer look when you walked in the room because the wardrobe then wasn't up against the windows and that's the only windows of the room. And I just added a nice bright pink seat up there to bring some colour along with the painting over to that side of the room because it was all very concentrated down the one side. As you can see from the start of the build, the kitchen was in here, but unfortunately I either lost or forgot to press record when I changed the kitchen round. So now you can see the kitchen as you walk through the door. It's much bigger, it's much more open plan. So this little space in the side there is now empty and we will be doing something with that very shortly. And we have the dining table in between the living area and the kitchen just to kind of tie both in together. And keep the space nice and open and available for a good few Sims to use. With the furniture, I've kept it quite neutral so far. I did this so that I can then add coloured accents like the big rugs and things to the room instead. I discovered that light there and I decided I just wanted to put it in the background there. I actually put it there, I think, just to keep it in the apartment so that it was out and I remembered to use it because I knew I wanted to, but I do actually keep it where I have put it already. We're just filling up the hallway now with a little bookcase there and we have the orange, we had the purple puffy, and as you saw just a second ago, I actually flipped the rug so that the two purple parts are opposite of each other in the living area. So we have the purple part in the rug there and then we have on the opposite corner the purple buffet. I really needed to try and incorporate that fireplace coffee table because I just love the idea of it. It's nice and warm, it gives some light into the room but not too much, so I wanted to add that in. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use bright colours for this or more neutral colours and then have more colourful paintings and wall art up. So I think in the end, yeah, I did go with quite a neutral colour and I used that right round the living area. Just doing the little side section that was the kitchen. Because there was that space in the walls, I decided to put a bar in there so that you could access it from both sides. It was kind of like a serving side and a sitting side so that it wasn't all just you could walk right around it. And here I'm just adding some extra detail in the kitchen with the pipe work there. You will see the kitchen in much better detail once the screenshots show, since I wasn't able to record that and put it into the speed build. For this little bit in here, I kind of had in mind, you know, a house party or guests, having them over. I like the way in between those two walls you could see that light bulb light against the wall there. It's like a piece of art and a light at the same time. The hallway is quite empty, but because of the size of it and where the doors are and the kitchen is, there wasn't a whole lot to do with it anyway, so I think the bookcase is just enough to give it that little something. We're just moving on to this side of the apartment now. This is the shared bathroom for the entire apartment, including the twin bedroom, the master bedroom, and any guests that are using the apartment too. Covered the entire bathroom in those tiles. I think they're really nice looking tiles. They're very clean, very subtle. We put that little toilet behind the wall there just to give it a little bit more privacy, and we have the shower and the bath coming just now as well. We just used the shower there to add some colour into the room. Putting in those tall mirrors in this bathroom and the ensuite in the other double bedroom, it really brightens up the room. It expands it a lot more in size as well, which is nice. So we just added some lived in clutter to the countertops there, some aftershave and perfumes and nail polish and things like that. And then we'll give it some life with that plant and then a nice little rug just to warm up the place. I love that rug. It's like a tapestry. I love the pattern on it. It's so nice and the colourways are really good as well. And that little hall space there, I just added the keyboard. Really just to add some skill building items into this apartment build, and since the hallway was pretty empty anyway, so we've moved on to the master bedroom of the apartment. This was quite big because I didn't really know what to do with it, but I really like the way it turned out, and you'll see kind of how I separate the room here with these dividers. So that's the sleeping area, and then this wee walkway here kind of gives a little bit more privacy if someone is in their bed and someone comes into the room. So there we're just adding in a computer with a desk. Above that we put the TV in so that you can sit at the desk and have, if you're working on the PC, we can have something on the TV above, or you can sit on those little cushions at the bottom of the bed there and watch something on the TV there. I wasn't sure what to do behind the bed because I felt like it was quite empty still, so I put these shelves in, and they kind of acted as a headboard or a backdrop to the bed, but they're also pretty useful because then you can just sit something up there if you need it during the night. It's right there beside you. The colour of the wood actually matches the bed and the wardrobe quite well as well, I think. Usually I wouldn't put candles on the floor, but because of that separation with the divider and the idea that this is the adults room, I thought it'd be okay. Usually I don't do it because I always think, oh, children and safety, even though that's not a thing in The Sims and it would be fine anyway, but I just thought it would be more appropriate in this build here rather than other ones. That wallpaper I used behind the master bed, that's one from base game that I have never used before. I always thought it was quite an interesting wallpaper, and I wasn't sure if I would ever use it, but when I saw it there, I really liked the colour and the texture it gave the room. It gave it a little bit more depth as well. So there's the floor plan of the house. Here's the kitchen. That's the first thing you see as you walk into the apartment. It's nice and big. There we have the little reception area, you could call it, with the bar. Here's the dining area with the living room behind it as you walk through the kitchen. I've kept it all open plan so that it does feel nice and spacious. It doesn't feel closed off and tight and small. We have a lot of purple elements in this living room here, and that's what it looks like through the walls there. I wanted to include that because I really liked how that looked. There's the kitchen from the angle of the living room, and there's the front door from the angle of the kitchen. So here's the twin bedroom here, very colourful. I think the space is used well in it. There's not too much space that it looks empty, but there's enough space to do different things in the room, get to all the objects. Here's the first double bedroom that we saw in the video. The wall painting is actually complete in the screenshot about to show here, so we can see how that looks. There we are, so that's how it looks once your sim paints it. I'm not sure what painting that was that she done in there, and then there's the bathroom there, the ensuite. That's in the hallway outside the master bedroom, again just some sim artwork. Here's the bathroom for the apartment, the main bathroom. Here's the entrance way to the master bedroom here, and there's the sleeping area of the master bedroom with some plants over there just to give it a little bit of life and greenery. And there's the overhead floor plan again just to finish it off. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this speed build renovation. I look forward to come back next time with the next video. So that's us. Cheerio!